watching the playoffs,
Yeah.
and you watch. I'm assuming you watch James Harden collapse.
Yep.
Okay,
Which
so
I predicted.
I mean, it's entirely predictable. You know what I hate the most when
Yeah.
people say, you ever see someone argue like the sample size isn't big enough?
Yeah.
Like it's the playoffs are only 5 games, the season da da da
Bitch,
da.
we got 10 years of him choking in the playoffs.
In
What
the
you mean?
greats, I forget who said it, but it's like in the long run we'll be all right, but in the long run we'll all be dead. Like so, like we don't. Well, it just it you okay. So I feel like it's also like a argument hack for like nerds do that you can't really argue because they
Yeah.
never actually tell you what's an appropriate sample size. So
Right.
it just until he performs well, it's always a sample size.
Correct.
It's like it's like you ever heard of the no true Scotsman fallacy?
Nah.
And
What's
it's
that?
like basically like you say, no true Scotsman would do that. I say no true Scotsman would do that. And then you say, well,
Okay.
this person is a Scotsman and he did that. And I go, well, he's not a true Scotsman. He was
Okay.
born in July. He doesn't
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
this beer. And you go, well, this
yeah.
person is a Scotsman and he did that. And I go, well, he's not a true Scotsman. He has a hang and it's just, and
Okay,
then
yeah,
you
yeah,
come to realize that I keep countering your examples with counter examples
yeah.
that he's just because there's no true Scotsman. And it's like
Right.
you say James Harden doesn't perform well in the playoffs, and they go, well, the sample size isn't big enough. And then you wait next year and you go, he doesn't perform in the playoffs. Well, the sample size still isn't big enough. You're like, okay, there is no sample size. You're just gonna keep doing this until he does it.
You're just gonna
Like,
keep saying
right.
like
It's like so there's it's the no true Scotsman fallacy of sports where they just keep saying
yeah, man.
sample size over and over and over again. And there's never an appropriate sample size because they're never gonna be like, okay, there's 100 games, we're good, he's officially a choker. They'll never do that. So
Right.
it's just
No
it's
one's ever gonna say that.
yeah. And so I
And that's
would
what's crazy to me. 'Cause
but
it's just first of all, that game for me, it was I knew it was a wrap for him as far as being an alpha dog on a championship team. When he blew that game six against the Warriors when Kawhi didn't play and they lost by like 42,
yeah.
I was like, okay, you're done. Like Kendrick Perkins told a story when they played the Heat in the finals in 2012. He's like, we first of all, everybody knows what James Harden likes to get into off
Yeah,
the
he
court.
was in
That's his business,
Miami.
whatever. But yeah, he was like, we had to drag him out the club. We could not get him physically to leave the club, But also, he just is a choker. Like he choked as a six man, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you.
So here's my thing. I don't. I
And
like to
he
have a good time. I'm not
and I think he
anti.
got lucky too. I will say I think he got lucky because everybody talks about, oh, he went against the Warriors, he went against the KD Warriors and shit. And it's like he was choking before and after that. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's so far gone. I don't even think he has defenders anymore. But the Miami thing is that people were like, it was his first finals and he was in Miami, and I like to have a good time. I've traveled for it.
But it's the finals, bro.
It's the like. Does Miami close? Like you can't go after? I don't understand. People like, well, he was in Miami and you can't like he's rich. He could just go back. Like I don't understand. I
Right.
don't
You
get
can
it.
go
Like
back. You have the you all you gotta do is ball out for 2 weeks and you have the whole offseason to be in Miami. What
yeah,
do you
you it's 2 weeks. You got to keep your head on straight, and then you have the whole off season to do whatever the fuck you want in Miami. I
Yep.
just people sort of I don't get it. Like, I really don't. And even as
I
a
don't
youngin,
understand it.
I get that he was in his 20s, but like I don't understand. You're gonna blow the finals because you want to go out in Miami as if this is the I just don't understand.
It doesn't make sense to me. I
Like
don't
it doesn't make sense to me. Like you have
like
the
first
whole
of all,
summer to go out in Miami.
yeah, you're an NBA player. Literally every night is the weekend.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
I
I
don't
really
it,
don't, I don't get it. But I will say this, man. I'm officially, I can't stay up for these West Coast games. Hey, man, I'm falling asleep. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. OKC was up 12 at the end of the third. It was like
yeah.
11:30. I'm tapping out. I woke up.
I usually
Nuggets
take a
won.
nap at some point. Yeah.
I can't. I used to laugh at my brother and my dad when they were like, "Man, no 10 o'clock game." I'm like, "It's the playoffs. You can't be sleepy the
Yeah.
next day." I can't. I'm like midnight is all I got, man. Midnight
So
is
usually what I'll do is I'll either take a nap between like the second and third quarter, or I will sleep during part of the East Coast game because the East Coast playoffs ain't really been hitting on nothing anyway. So,
I mean, shit. The Celtics Knicks game last night went overtime. So
oh well, that one, yeah, that was a good game.
that okay, that made me cut off Conclave.
And not
Oh,
even that. By the way, it's like, hey, Jason Tatum, feel free to like step inside the 3-point line at any point in time.
I just be sounding like an old nigga because like even though the game was close, like I watched, I think I counted like 8 straight possessions where nobody even dribbled inside the arc. It was like, and Jalen
Yeah,
Brunson was hitting them. He crossed up Al Horford, he hit a three, come down the court, hit another three, and it's just like I just don't like watching this.
yeah. I
Like
don't.
just
Well,
they're
I
just
hate
shooting
watching
threes
Brunson
back
play.
and forth.
It's a 3-point contest. That's how the Celtics win. Like that's if they're not hitting threes, you can beat them, and they're kind of hobbled too. So I don't think the Knicks are gonna win the series, but
I don't even believe
yeah,
in that shit. Like Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter are all out tonight, and I don't even believe in
yeah,
injuries during the playoffs. Unless you're like having a surgery, you tear your ACL, your
yeah,
Achilles,
bro.
that's fine. But you missing the game because your pussy hurt. I'm sorry. This is the playoffs. What do you mean you strained your hamstring?
Yeah,
You don't ask me to hoop, man. I watched James Harden, sorry ass, for the Nets play with one leg.
one hamstring.
Yeah,
LeBron
and
just
like
played on an MCL sprain the other day.
I ain't trying to hear no, oh, I got it, my toe hurts. It's the playoffs, man. You need to suit up. I ain't, unless you're like reconstruct, like knee surgeries, something I heard of.
Mhm.
Don't tell me you got a toe sprain and you missing the playoff. I don't want to hear that shit. No.
Yeah, man. This playoffs, man. It's all also the luck of the draw. Like, how about the Warriors getting the worst 2 seed of all time, the most like
I don't know about
non-shooting
worst of
team
all
ever?
time, but yeah, I
They gotta
mean,
go. They gotta be in the conversation, man. Because them Rockets, they couldn't do shit on offense. I mean, we know young teams don't win in the playoffs, but damn.
well, it's always so it's always gonna be. There's always okay. So how I word this? As the regular season becomes so much more disconnected from the playoffs, you're going
Right.
to have the situation where
Anomalies.
teams that are young and can play hard for 6 straight months are going to stumble. Like the Grizzlies did this a couple years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah, they did this a couple years ago when
and
the
it's just
Lakers took them
like
out.
they get these high seeds. The Kings did this a couple years ago when they lost to the Warriors in the first round, and it's like
Yep.
no one would have picked not Rockets to beat literally anybody else in the playoffs. Uh,
Nobody.
Not at least in the
Not at
West.
all.
I forget who was
No,
the
not
eighth
in the
seed in the
West.
West. Memphis. Yeah,
Um,
well, Memphis. They had to beat
yeah.
Memphis,
Well, yeah, they were done before the playoffs.
but like, yeah, I mean, I hear you. Like, it is luck of the draw. Um,
Hmm.
but I mean, I don't like you don't get to pick your opponents, right? So like, you can only play who you play, and it
Yeah.
is unfortunate that the Lakers got the bad draw. But at the end of the
It was just a
day,
really bad matchup. It was a shitty matchup.
you play who you play.